Are you recording?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All set to... So I guess I have to look at my notes.
Okay. Your notes. I have notes to read from too.
So I was going to just start by saying, thank you for being here with us to witness and celebrate our recommitment ceremony 2 days after our 20th wedding anniversary on July 10th, 2013.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
And,
Glad to be here.
I'll let you go first,
All right.
because that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. So,
Because women are always last.
Have the last word.
here we are today.
Wow, this is
Today we stand here at Cape Disappointment at the mouth of the Great Columbia River and the Pacific Ocean to renew our vows of love and commitment. Over 200 years ago, the Corps of Discovery, led by Lewis and Clark, left St. Louis on the first expedition across what is now western United States to document and survey the new Louisiana Purchase. In November of 1805, Lewis and Clark's journey arrived here at Cape Disappointment after spending the winter near here at Fort Clatsop across the river in what is now Astoria. They headed back to St. Louis. Their journey of discovery only lasted 2.5 years. Today, some 28 years after our journey began, in a small town called Huntington Valley, we find ourselves at Cape Disappointment to celebrate our continuing journey. 20 years ago, we stood on a dock in Paradox Lake and vowed to love and cherish each other forever, one another forever. At the time, it may have seemed paradoxical that two people apparently so different in so many ways could and would journey for so long, for so far, and for so long. Some may say that our differences completed each other to make two complete people. I think it has been both our differences and our similarities that have truly enabled us to endure this great journey. Here today, at two more great bodies of water, we shall renew these vows. As this water travels by us on its continuing journey, we shall continue our journey together. On your arm are tattooed 3 words: art, hope, truth. You want to show it off?
Oh.
There it is. You describe this mantra as art as a way of knowing, hope as a way of seeing, truth as a way of being. When we use art as a way of knowing, we use our creativity and imagination to expand our search for knowledge. When we use hope as a way of seeing, we unlock the possibilities of our wildest dreams. And when we accept truth as a way of being, we are truly free to be happy, to be one with the universe. So as I said 20 years ago, on a lake in the beautiful Adirondack Mountains, on a beautiful summer day, with many wonderful friends, I shall again today, in the presence of our family, vow to love and cherish you today, tomorrow, and forever. Shaking my hand. You're gonna. If you have a ring, you can put it on. But we don't have any rings.
You can make one out of wood.
Well, Steve spoke about, this is more ad lib, I don't have a whole thing written, that was very good. Kind of surprised me well.
That's what we like.
But as Steve described how different we are, our differences and similarities, I think we'll find that our similarities are going to come out in these commitment speeches or whatever you want to call them. So, in 1995, we met in a bar, and I fell in love with your eyes because they were different colors like David Bowie, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And after being at the bar, we went back to 939 Irvin Road on the same evening, and you played David Bowie for me. And that pretty much did it for me. I refused to let go, but you weren't too hard to catch. 8 years later, 20 years ago, we came together to exchange vows of commitment at a body of water called Lake Paradox. And it was indeed a paradoxical idea to me. I, at the time, really had not embraced the idea of unconditional love, although that is what I've learned from this family, finally. And I also, commitment, I was a little shaky on that. I said the words, but I'm not so sure I knew them in my heart. I'm not quite sure. So it was a paradox, a true statement that appears self-contradictory. Indeed, for me, that was, although it was a beautiful, beautiful day surrounded by friends and family, and I don't regret a moment of it. Now 20, no, I kind of skipped around, but paradox I wrote, I didn't know that that was exactly the description of what I understood about love. Now 20 years later, I have finally learned from you and this family that unconditional love is love without judgment, love without conditions, love without expectations. And I was a hard study. I was slow and stubborn student and be patient beyond reason as a teacher. It seems we have come full circle in a way, and as we never really exchanged rings officially, I had a ring that, this is just a $20 silver ring, and Steve wore his father's ring that didn't really fit him, and has never worn a ring since. I found this almost perfectly circular stone yesterday, and I have a few things back at the house, but I decided to bring this as a representation of the circle of our love. From two young people who wanted to be in love to two older people who are in love in a way I did not expect as best friends. We come together at another body of water, or rather the confluence of two. And I believe that's what our relationship has become. We have been a confluence of two that now understands not what it is to be one, but what it is to be truly together. Confluence being the active place of flowing together. And we flow well together at this point. I have a couple poems that I'd like to read, or at least one. This has been my favorite poem for many, many years. And it describes how I feel about our journey. It's called Wild Peace. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Thank you for helping me to know my place in the family of things.
Yay!
I salute your 20 years.
Yeah, yes.
Here, here. Oh, I should get some white flowers in here.
I'll keep them both safe.
Sprinkle them in here.
I know.
My rock.
We don't have rice, we have rocks and pebbles.
Rocks.
No,
Throw rocks
don't
out.
throw rocks.
Maybe a little sand. I don't know. We have flowers.
There we are.
All right.
Blushing bride.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
That was.
That was very nice.
touching.
Yes. Very, very nice.
Woo.
All right, well done.
So here we are.